What's up, y'all? AMQ. Question I was asked recently is how did I get the confidence to put myself in front of the camera? I did not. And I'll tell you why. It's still not easy. It's still weird. It's still a little awkward. I've been doing it for about a year, maybe a year and a month now. But I started the most awkward way. And I try not to do it that way anymore because it feels forced. One thing I don't like to do is I don't like to feel forced or obligated or pressured into doing anything. I want it to more come out like naturally. So even as I record, if you pay attention to the videos I posted over the last year, just in general, typically when I start, it's a little like awkward because I'm processing a lot of thoughts. I'm trying to just get into the natural flow of me being me and conversating, essentially with myself because there's nobody here with me. I'm by myself as I do these things pretty much majority of the time. The plan is not to do that, but it's been that way for since I started for the last year. And it was more awkward when I didn't have anything. I had a friend before, shout out my man, Coach Ant. He told me about getting a tripod so that I'm not just sitting here holding the camera in front of myself or propping it up on random things and stuff. And it helped a lot. And it gave me the whole aspect around um recording myself and even pictures. I used to see those things where you're back in the day like I'm old. Um Back when I would see people get pictures done at like amusement parks or at these like amazing places with flowers or cliffs and things like that. And I'm thinking, man, that's how they get a camera person or somebody to just follow them around all the time. Like I really thought like that for a long time. And there are people that do, they got friends and other stuff that take pictures like that, right? But once you mentioned to me about the tripod and I saw it and I seen how long these type of invention was out, I was like, man, I feel so out of the loop. But once I got that tripod and figured it out because it still was new to me just doing that. Whether I had the camera actually facing me and I'm looking at myself talk or I have it recorded backwards, that's one big thing for me. Like the phone that I'm recording on right now, I'm not looking at myself in the phone. So the phone's facing the opposite way and I just see the camera at this point. And for me, that's more comforting because it doesn't feel like I have the added pressure of looking at myself as I'm talking. And I'm just kind of in my own thoughts, essentially, in my own safe space to be able to just talk and be me. I'm not talking in front of any crowd. I'm not talking to anybody. I'm talking to millions of people because I'm talking through the platforms that I'm utilizing and putting this stuff on. But as I'm recording this, it's just solely me, and I'm just focused on the ideal person that I'm basically referring to, answering a question about, or talking to one on one. And for me, that makes it a whole lot easier. Because I even listened to someone like Jordan Peterson where he told me he would do his speeches, his talks, and things like that, and he would focus on one person in the audience. So he can have hundreds or thousands of people in the audience, but he just focuses on one. Now I believe it. I don't know if it's truly true for him, but it made it relevant enough for me to keep that focus. And right now, I focus with nobody here. It's like that saying where they always said if you are, have stage fright or you have problems talking in front of crowds, picture people in their underwear. That works for some people and it doesn't. I don't do that. I just try and focus on getting the message out and allow everything to kind of flow naturally. So I'm still not that comfortable in front of the camera until I get to a state of just flowing conversation that I don't even remember the camera's there like that. I know it's here now because I'm specifically talking about it and looking at it. So I'll lose my train of thought. So I'll pause for a moment because I know it's there. Whereas if I'm recording a normal video, I'll just get into the flow and start talking about what it is I'm speaking on because it's something I'm passionate about or I have a lot of insight on for my own personal well being or God's purpose and wisdom He's instilled through me. So it's still not easy. It's still an adjustment. But I remember when I record it, it is just me. When I post it, it's a lot easier to post because I'm not recording this specific thing to just specifically post for one specific person or one specific platform. If I do, I will say, hey, this is for Instagram. Hey, this is for YouTube. Like this one right here, it is for YouTube. It's for my AMQ. So I know who I'm talking to at this point with this specific video. But it's still not easy. It's still an adjustment. I'm still working on getting better with it, with talking and getting comfortable in my own skin, using my own words, my own mannerisms and things like that, like moving my hands, talking how I talk, looking away from the camera and things like that. but I know it's a part of me, and I know it's part of my journey with speaking like this. If I know I'm going to be that inspiration, motivation for other people to be the best version of themselves, I got to be willing to put myself at the forefront. And I know there's a lot of people that don't do that. They might write something, they might speak and do audio, but there's not as many people that I personally know or have interacted with that do it in the way that I do it, talk the way I talk, move the way I move, and engage the way I engage. And that's what makes it stand out to me, is that I'm always me, regardless of who I'm talking to. There may be different versions of me, as you know, we were in different hats with different people, but it's still me regardless. I know I'm a chameleon. I know I can adapt to my environment, but I know I'm still always me. And when people come to me specifically, they know what they're going to get out of me for the most part. So it's still new. I'm still learning, and it's going to be a forever journey of learning and growing and getting better with it. To the point where somebody else is recording it, and I don't even have to worry about setting it up and doing that stuff, because that's when I do the best. It was like playing sports, and you get those natural photos taken, you get the natural videos taken of you hooping, catching the ball, throwing the ball, whatever it is, and they look amazing. And that's what I'm trying to get to, where it's not forced. There's somebody just basically recording me as I go about my day, my life, and then it's just they have a skill that I do not have at the same level. So that's the goal at some point. But that's my AMQ for the week. I appreciate y'all and I love y'all, and I'll see y'all next week.